What is up, everybody? J Nell here with my UFC 236 prediction video. I think it's from Vegas, but correct me if I'm wrong. I just spaced on that, so let me know where it's coming to you from. It's coming this Saturday, however. I'm super excited. This is a stacked event. I'm only going to predict the main card for now, but please look out for my Twitter and Instagram and all of that for me to do further predictions on the prelims and possibly some remakes. Because let me tell you right now, if you use my predictions for betting advice at all, don't use this one, because I don't know. This is a really close card with great fights. Let's get into it. First up, I'm choosing Ovince St. Preux to beat Nikita Krylov. I am choosing Alan Jouban to beat Grant. I just forget your first name. I'm so sorry, Grant. Look for me to renege on that one. I'm choosing Eric Anders to beat Khalid Roundtree Jr. and look for me to renege on that one. Okay, now onto the co-main event, and this is for the UFC middleweight interim belts. You guys know how I feel about interim belts. They're not the real belts, they're placeholders. The champion, Robert Whittaker, is hurt. I think his last fight was in June, so it hasn't been a year yet. I feel as though you should wait a year. Either way, they're putting this interim belt together. It's for more belts, more main events, more pay-per-views, more money. There's reasons why they do it, but again, I feel like the fighters, it's not the real belt. It's a placeholder. Now, let's get into that, though. We're seeing the last style bender, Isreal Adesanya, take on Kelvin Gastelum. This fight is really close for me, you guys. I've been going back and forth. Kelvin Gastelum is, I believe, about 6 inches shorter, and Isreal has like a 9-inch reach advantage. So that's one of the things that I was like, okay, wow. With Kelvin Gastelum, though, I believe he's going to be physically stronger than Isreal. I believe if he gets his hands on him, gets up against the cage with the dirty boxing, I do believe he'll be able to move Isreal around. So my best for Kelvin is to take him to the ground. And I know you just got your black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu this past July, but fall back on your wrestling base on this one. Lay and pray, make him hold your weight, zap some inch out of him and ground and pound him. Handle him, get him hesitant, make him not want to get near you, make him think about everything he does, make him think about throwing them kicks. You see what I'm saying? Get your hands on him. You have enough boxing. You do have one-punch knockout power. He's very strong. He's very powerful. When it comes to power for shot, I actually think they kind of match, except for Israel's technique is better. So especially with the kicks, Israel's kicks are definitely going to be more powerful because his technique is better. But just sheer power, physically stronger, I think Kelvin's going to be physically stronger. Now faster, I also think that Israel's going to be faster as far as covering distance. But as far as body movement and leverage and things of that nature, I think Kelvin actually has the advantage in those type of mechanics. So again, he needs to get inside of that like 9-inch reach advantage, get inside there quick, stay inside there quick, be willing to eat some shots to do that, and he's got that signature Mexican chin. He can walk through, kicks to the face, take them, and go back inside without being dazed. He has that chin. So I don't know on this one. Let's go to the last style bender. He's got that kickboxing, boxing background. Amazing technique, like I said, and because of that technique, I do think his shots will be more powerful, especially the kicks. With the hands, I'm not so sure. He's not really a power puncher. He's more of a punches and bunches, although he is deceptively strong. You can get knocked out by his hands. Again, he's got like a 9-inch reach advantage, so keep this in space, Israel. You don't want to get near Kelvin? Don't get near Kelvin. As soon as you do, in and out. In and out. If he gets his hands on you up against the cage, you got to laterally move against that cage, slide out. Don't try and play any games in close quarters with Kelvin Gastelum. If you do get down, get back up. Don't accept any negative positions on the cage, in the dirty boxing, or on the ground. You have to pop back up and get back into space. You cannot stand there for a minute. Don't try it. Keep this in space. I believe you can point yourself to a victory. I believe you could get a later knockout if you get him tired, if you have him chasing you the whole time. Throw everything at him. Make him hesitant to even go get inside of your range, because again, he gonna walk through some of your kicks because he got that chin. He gonna walk through a lot of your punches because he got that chin. So you gotta stick and move, bro. Stick and move, stick and move. I think Kelvin's going to be stronger, and if he gets his hands on him, he gets him down. I think Israel's going to have a problem getting up. At the same time, with that, I didn't realize it was 9-inch reach advantage. I didn't realize he was that much taller. With that sort of advantage, and he fights long, he should be able to keep this in space. And if he can point his way to a victory, or possibly get a knockout or some sort if the opportunity's there. I'm picking Israel. But be looking out for my social media for me to renege on this one as well. Okay, main event, and let me just say, I don't agree with this fight at all. Not only is it an interim lightweight belt, which I'm okay with because I believe Khabib's going to be out by the time he's back from his suspension. By the time he's back from his suspension, I think it's actually going to be more than a year that he's been out. So in this case, okay, let's do an interim belt. But I don't agree with it being, and I'm just going to say the lightweight person first, with Dustin Poirier, fine, going against the featherweight champ, my boy, Max Blessed Holloway. What's going on here? Max, you haven't cleaned out your division yet. You still got some fights in your division. Also, if a champion's going to come up, especially a champion the caliber of a Max Holloway, who's defended so well, who's put his division back on track, stabilized his division, and is the king, why is he coming up for an interim belt? The only way Max Holloway should be fighting another champ, it should be the champion. It should be Khabib. It should be the lightweight champion. That's 2 fights in the lightweight division he'll have to have. You realize that. He'll get the, if he wins this and Khabib comes back, then that's another lightweight belt. You don't treat your champ that way. You don't just, I understand he wants it. I get that, but more fights mean more chance for injury, means more this, more that. You never know what's going to happen in a sport so dangerous as MMA. What? In my opinion, this should have been Dustin Poirier against Al Iaquinta. And I love Max. I don't think he should be in this fight. Okay, but he is. But he is. So let's go ahead and talk about it now. Max Blessed Holloway, as you know, is the featherweight king. Thought I had my glasses on there. Isn't that crazy? Still getting over this cold. He is the king of the featherweights. He has the best boxing in the entire division, if not possibly in the entire bottom 3 weight class divisions. He is a boxer, striker, hybrid. He has those 9-punch, kick-punch combinations. He has head movement, defense, angles. He has footwork. He is a boxer first, striker second. Cumulative damage, but he also has 1-punch knockout power as well. He's also getting bigger. I believe Max is 26, 27. It seems like he might be finally stopped growing because now he's filling out and he's getting bigger. And he's actually 2 inches taller than Dustin Poirier. However, I saw on many sites their reach, from what I can tell, either Dustin has like a 1 or 2 inch reach advantage, even though Max is taller, or it's about the same. Like I said, it says different things on different sites, but Max is taller. And as far as thickness, Max has gotten bigger. That's part of the reason why people think he's going to make this journey to the lightweight division anyway, because he's a little bit too big for the featherweight division. So Max, I think they're going to be around the same size. I think they're going to be around the same thickness, and Max is 2 inches taller, except for the reach advantage is around the same. Dustin Poirier is a nice boxer, striker hybrid as well, but not to the not quite to the extent of Max Holloway. Max just has a few more tools. His angles are a little bit more sharp. He's a little bit more creative with that boxing. However, Dustin ain't no joke. His boxing is there too, and I do think he'll have a bit more power punching advantage. I think his punches might be a bit stronger. As far as kicks, they both got kicks now, and I think that might be one of the little X factors there. Whoever's been working on them kicks, working on something different, working on them knees, working on them elbows as far as their striking game comes, because I do think we're going to see a lot of striking. Now, they both have solid ground games. They both have submission victories. In fact, they fought before, and Dustin submitted Max in the first round. Again, this was like 7 years ago, and we all know Max ain't the same Max from then, but neither is Dustin Poirier. Dustin has been at the lightweight division. I am outside. Okay, Dustin has been in the lightweight division for longer. I think he's going to sit at that weight better. So I do think if someone is a bit thicker, I think Dustin might be a bit thicker. I think he might be a bit more powerful just because he's been sitting at that weight, sitting at that power a little bit longer than Max has. So I think the power advantage might go to Dustin Poirier. As far as on the ground, grappling advantage, wrestling advantage, they both have good wrestling, and Max probably has better submissions, I think, now, even though he was submitted by Dustin. Like I told you, he ain't the same fighter. But the ground games might be a little bit more equal. I think that I don't know who's going to win this. I don't know who's going to win this. I can say that right out now. You know my boy. I like them both, but you know that Max is my boy. He's one of my favorite fighters, and I do think that he's a bit more creative. With his offense. I think if it comes down to a grappling game, that he might be more creative with his grappling. You see what I'm saying? He might be able to get out of those situations better. Might be more creative within the dirty boxing, the close section. I think he does just a little bit more awkward angles, more awkward defense, more awkward entries and out. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit more awkward, a little bit more creative. So because of that, I'm gonna go. It's not just because he's one of my favorite fighters. I think he's a bit more unique. A bit more unique, and as Mighty Mouse says, what he noticed about all the champions is that there's always something about them that's unique. So I'm gonna go with Max. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Max. Bless Holloway, but again, oh no. Please don't take my advice on any of these fights. Be looking for me to renege on my other social media platforms, and be looking for more predictions on the prelims. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe, like, talk to me, take care. Goodbye.